Kia ora, this is author Michael Botur reading to you from the short story collection Hell of a Thing, out now, published by the Sega Group. I am reading to you from the short story Douche. Andy finds Lotus on the steps of Auckland Art Gallery. There are black paw prints under Lotus's shoes. She's been playing in the fountain while she waits for Andy, who is late, because the goddamn electric buses only run once an hour. Lotus could have gone inside the gallery already, but it's too awkward dealing with the guard dicks on the door. Plus she's finishing her chamomile tea, and you're not allowed to take the drinks in, so saith the authorities. Their title is Minder, officially, these door dicks. It's one of the many things the girls hate, like, why does a painting in a gallery need a chaperone? This is supposed to be a public gallery where courageous ideas can stand for themselves. Let it be free to view 24/7. Let it be an open air gallery. Let the art be unguarded, liberated. Door dick Marcus sees the girls entering, and he pulls a bollard close, and he strokes the velvet rope. Secure. Now the girls have to stand in the lobby's concentration camp of retractable seatbelt tape and chrome bollards. Marcus, security guard, he's a student too, but he does this door guard stint to try and get a better chance of having his art on the walls here. Tickets please. Give me a break, Andy says. I don't need a ticket, this is a public space. Marcus flops his weary head back, his chins crease. You gonna shoplift from us today, Andrea? True artists don't repeat themselves, sellout. I'm here to check out wall space, okay? I'll have a piece in here real soon, trust me. Okay, well, you'd be the first, because students have never had their stuff on display in here, because it's like a meritocracy and shit, so yay for ambition, I guess, lady. Don't call me lady, you fat fuck. It's an aristocracy. This place invalidates women of colour. That is the problem. It's all white artists in here. Marcus coughs into his fist. Okay, dude, before you try and say that I'm white, okay, I don't identify as white, so fuck what you're thinking. Will you just let us past? I still need to check in your bag. Stuff in there's insured for millions. Oh, sup, Lotus? Lotus blushes. Marcus, why would I need to steal phallocentric, whitocratic bullshit anyway? Andy pushes her backpack into Marcus's shirt and tie and his fat jiggles. She's nearly 6 feet tall, Andy, with shoulders like soccer balls and a thick neck. Here's my stupid bag! Marcus attempts to rummage through the backpack. Andy snatches it out of his grasp, and the girls sprint onto the golden parquet and they begin catching up on the new artworks. Andy and Lotus have just 20 minutes until the gallery closes. The girls love this place and they hate it. They have to visit at least once a week to remain part of the conversation, though most of the artworks on the walls are conservative and most of the artworks deserve to be destroyed. The indigenous stuff, it needs to be repatriated to its homeland. From the ground floor up to the mezzanine, the girls give Auckland Art Gallery a lightning tour, looking for new pieces to over. Mostly it's the same old stale pale males on the walls. They tally up what the value would be if all this were torn down. There is millions of insurance value behind this art. It's irreplaceable, sure, but it's overvalued. Not to mention overrated. It's actually hard to agree on which piece is the single most offensive, actually. The 10 square metre Jackson Pollock in the South Atrium is pretty undeserving. Just another Caucasian abrasion. Then there are the Colin McCanns taking up far too many metres of wall. That wannabe Christ, he appropriated Māori culture and there has never been redress for that. The girls reach the contemporary art rooms, which host works by some graduates of Elam School of Fine Arts. Pretty much every Elamite has spent a few years in Prague and then Berlin and then returned to the art school on Simon Street to tutor. Though Andy and Lotus, they've been told that's not an option for them. They're sellout stuck-ups anyway, those tutors. Total quislings, little Eichmanns. One Elam grad has a whole room to himself. His so-called masterpiece is just an open bucket of paint on a pedestal. It still has the Bunnings Warehouse sold sticker on the side. The bucket contains dried white paint, and the solids are frozen into a frisbee. The label claims the piece makes an introspective, postmodernist statement about Syria. Really? Really, the white disc of dried paint? The girls know that that dried white disc represents a contraceptive pill. It's a very subtle misogyny, though it's impossible to ignore. Andy leads the tour, waving her dismissive fingers at each disappointing artwork. Lotus follows up with her tablet, live tweeting her outrage. Just as bad as the Eurocentric art colonising every level of the gallery is the do not touch please barrier frame on the floor around the Hazeler totem pole in the Indigenous suite. As a totem that was built by the people to honour the forest god Soda, who saved the Hazeler people from smallpox. And Lotus, she appreciates the font on the do not touch please barrier, the font being a variation on Highway Gothic. Very autumn 2010, perfect for the cover of the next edition of her zine. Though the message spelled out by the gorgeously ironic font is impossible to stomach. Do not touch please, it says. Like, literally? Okay, the frame around the totem pole is a square of gold poles laid in 4 sections, a couple inches above the ground. The girls look at each other and they wordlessly agree what needs to be done to correct things. They lift the 4 bars of the do not touch frame, grunting. They dismantle it, they shunt it aside, and in a corner of the ceiling, the security camera twitches. Andy feels it burn her neck. She points her middle finger at it. Fuck rules, fuck do not touch.